Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Mo aka Swedish Whiskey Girl. And first of all, apologies for the not planned hiatus here on YouTube. Life got in the way and then I got quite a nasty cold, and I'm so happy I can actually nose things again because my nose was out of action for about 2 weeks, I think. But I am back and I did not want to take a break, but sometimes things like that just happen. I hope you understand, of course, and I'm sure you will because you're all a lovely, friendly, understanding bunch. But I'm so happy to be back. And today we're going to have a look at this bottle here that was gifted to me by Ardbeg. So this is the Ardbeg 8-year-old called For Discussion. This was originally a committee member exclusive and retailed at £57, and I do believe there are some bottles left, and it's not difficult to sign up to the committee if you are a fan of Ardbeg. I feel like they do quite a lot of fun stuff, so I quite like being a part of the committee, and I have been for years now, ever since I kind of knew that the committee was a thing. And yeah, I did see this come up and I've had lots of friends that have tried it, but for whatever reason I just haven't had a chance to try it, so this is actually my first time trying it. This sits at 50.8% ABV. I'm not entirely sure about the cask makeup of this, but yeah, it's an 8-year-old. And what else to say? Ardbeg, of course, is a distillery on Islay. It's the distillery that has I have a bit of a soft spot for, because Ardbeg 10 was the first whiskey I tried that I actually enjoyed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this. I'm actually, if you've followed along on the channel for a while, you know that I, like many other whiskey drinkers, tend to go in like circles of what we enjoy. And for a while it's been first full bourbon, quite juicy bourbon-esque, complex whiskies and grain whiskies. Still love a grain whiskey, of course, but I'm finding myself leaning towards smoky whiskey again. So yeah, let's try it. Definitely smoky. It has a green character straight away, but it's like a bit mossy, a little bit fruity. I wouldn't say overwhelmingly smoky straight away. It has other things that I almost notice first, but this might just be that I have a tendency sometimes to be a bit smoke blind. And smoke blind, if you don't know what that is, I don't know if it's an actual thing, but it's that if you're not used to whiskies, or for whatever reason, these heavily peated whiskies that are peated to this degree that a lot of people would nose them and be like, oh, that's only smoke. If you're used to whiskey, sometimes the smoke isn't the first thing you get, even though someone who might not be that, like my mum for example, she would probably nose this and go, oh, that's just smoke. Whereas even though it's really smoky, I still don't notice that at first. So when I talk about the smoke levels in this, it's from my point of view, and if I'm a bit peat blind, that doesn't mean that it's not that smoky. Like, I know it's very smoky because it's Ardbeg, but yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. Just trying to point that out just so no one gets this and it's like, oh, fruity and grassy, that's the thing I'm getting first, and then it's just lots of smoke. I definitely get the smoke, and it's like a mossy, seaweedy smoke, if that makes sense. And the fruitiness, it's like baked apples, I think. A bit of, so this actually had a bit of a nostalgic note to me. So when I was younger, because we always lived in the countryside, my school would always in the springtime have lots of activities that, like, you had an outdoorsy day or whatever. But when you're outdoors in the springtime, and things have just, the frost has started to disappear. So everything, because the frost is there during the nights, in the mornings and like pretty much all day, I would say, at sometimes, it's just everything's a bit damp. And when you get tree bark, yeah, you know, the thing on a tree, it's called bark, isn't it? It's called bark in Swedish, so I'm a little bit uncertain if I'm just Englishifying the Swedish word. I think so. The shell of a tree, anyways, that is what I'm getting on this. It's like kind of damp springtime bark. It feels very damp springtime nature on the nose to me. And then those kind of baked apples come into play. And that smoke as well, which feels like it could belong to the damp springtime thing. But let's have a sip, and then we're going to see when we come back to the nose afterwards if it changes. Sláinte. Also noting that this is a neck pour, so the first dram of the bottle. Ooh, a banana fly in my eye. Okay. I would say it's that kind of springtimey, damp nature thing on the palate as well. It has a soft woodiness. Getting quite a lot of smoke still on the palate, but it's quite woody, grassy smoke. But there's something else in there. Something floral. Almost to the point where it's not just... I always feel like it can be quite difficult to say floral on the palate, because if it's floral on the palate, it can either be that it reminds you of something like a flower or something floral, or a soap or shampoo or whatever. But for me it could also be, and I don't know if this is just because I was a weird child and ate things, like it can be a floral that has a bitterness in it. So if you ever was a child who chewed on grass or dandelions or anything like that, like I did, the floral, often if you, sounds so weird, if you chew on flowers you get a bitter note, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm very chatty today, am I not? Yes, like a floral bitterness of chewing, actually chewing on a flower. Because it's more that bitterness rather than a woody or a tanniny bitterness or a grassy bitterness. The floral bitterness has a bit of a different twang to it. Definitely think it has an Ardbeg character. And what my brain is trying to do now, I'm trying to remember what the 5-year-old was and what the 10 is. Unfortunately, I've drunk all my 10-year-olds, so I don't have anything to compare it to. And I don't think I have the 5-year-old left, because I think I gave it to a friend. So I'm hopeless. Just don't do that, because I can't do that comparison. But I feel like the 10-year-old might have a bit more of a richer character in a way. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that kind of damp springtime nature vibe, because I'm getting that both on the palate and on the nose. So I'm going to go back to the nose just to check. Actually getting more fruitiness now on the nose. The interesting thing is, like, I like it. It's smoky Ardbeg. I like that. But it's almost like I think it would suit better a day out in the woods in springtime, when you bring with you like maybe some smoked meats, or you bring with you hot dogs or chicken or whatever, or pancakes or whatever you like to, the kind of food you can make on the go when you're out hiking or whatever. This would be such a perfect, because it has flavours of that. It feels very nostalgic for me. I guess that's also why it's called for discussion, discussing the age statements. Not a lot of people would put an age statement lower than 10. What kind of characters you're getting from it? Have you tried it? Are you a committee member? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments here below. Yeah, for me, very much a springtime whiskey, which I think is interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with springtime? Or if you had to judge this whiskey just simply by saying it's a season, which season would it be and why? I, as always, love to hear your thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll join me for the next one, which is a bit of a longer one. So I hope you'll like that one. But if you want to support the channel, I'd of course be thrilled if you want to like this video or subscribe if you haven't already. And I've also put my affiliate links to the Master Malt, the Whisky Exchange, and the Scotch Malt Whisky Society in the little section here below. But I hope you're all having a lovely day. Sláinte Skål!